What kind of life might we find on a red dwarf planet? And what kind of worlds would we encounter? And what about the newly discovered planets of Proxima b and c? Hi everyone, Vega here, and in today's video we're going to be looking at life on a red dwarf planet. So, let's get to it. First of all, Proxima Centauri itself is 12,950 astronomical units from Alpha Centauri system of A and B, and has an orbit of 550,000 years. Its luminosity of just 0.0017 luminosities of the Sun and a radius of 1.5 Jupiters mean it's barely visible in our skies, but in the skies of Proxima, A and B of the Alpha Centauri system are astonishingly bright, as we can see here, at -6.6 and -5.4 respectively. In our first graphic, here taken from Proxima b, at a distance of just 0.05 astronomical units from Proxima Centauri, we can see that Proxima, unfortunately, is a flare star. Indeed, in 2018 a superflare added as much as 68 times the brightness to the star itself. Imagine the Sun becoming one day 68 times brighter. The planet must take a battering. Flares occur around 5 times a year, but they don't last very long, minutes in fact, and that means that few if any are ever observed from Earth. Imagine that Sun at 68 times brighter. Absolutely incredible. So, what do we know about the climate on Proxima b? Well, we know that it could be in a 3-2 resonance with 3 revolutions for every 2 orbits it makes around the star. And as we can see here, this would mean the temperature well distributed around the planet, with the equatorial regions always above 0 degrees, and only in the polar ice caps would it be really cold. This would be really advantageous. Or alternatively, and perhaps maybe not quite as good, would be a tidal locking. As we can see here, most of the planet is an ice ball, with the burning Sun facing the other side of the planet. But as we can see as well now, the terminator line means that again there is a humid area, unfortunately without a day-night cycle, but a humid world not unlike Earth nonetheless. And if the planet itself didn't have oceans, the living room here would be not much that different to planet Earth itself. So it is possible that the planet could be livable. Imagine a highway winding its way past that terminator line, driving along until eventually on the horizon you see Proxima Centauri appearing in the sky, slowly making its way towards the midday position as you travel further and further into the world. This of course is a long way in the future when we've terraformed and built highways, if we even need them at that point, which is unlikely. Proxima b is estimated to be between 1.07 and 1.30 radiuses of the Earth, so it's not a small place. And here, just in this graphic, just interestingly, in the right hand corner, we can see one of the Alpha Centauri stars, bright enough to shine in the daylight. Or imagine if there was an axial tilt on Proxima b. That would make things a lot better, of course, because it may give us a day-night cycle even on an ice ball planet, or a planet that was tidally locked to the star. Proxima would be forever circling in the sky, a bit like we can see here, never really fully going behind the horizon, or never really going up to the midday position. The twin stars again of AC and AA and ACB in the day sky. Proxima Centauri at 0.005 astronomical units would be magnitude -26 in the sky, and that's exactly the same as our Sun, although the light itself may be different. So, what kind of weird life might we find on Proxima b? Well, lower visual light but more infrared heat would mean perhaps planets with larger surface areas for photosynthesis. As we get further from the relative safety of Earth temperatures, of course, on the terminator line, leaves might give way to sun shelters, like we can see depicted at the bottom of the trees here. The trees barely even recognisable as trees themselves, with no leaves, of course, in the constant sun. Or alternatively, maybe we get even further into the barren desert, where the side of the Proxima faces the star permanently. Deep-rooted growths might find water sources underneath the surface, a bit like in our own deserts here on Earth, but in a much more extreme capacity. Or alternatively, on the night side, Here we can see thick tuft-like structures depicted, fighting the conditions -30, -50, -100, or let's face it, perhaps even worse than that, because with no light and the heat dissipating only around the other side of the planet, it could get extremely cold, into the -200s even perhaps. But what about Proxima c? At 1.49 astronomical units distance from Proxima Centauri itself, it's a distant light in the horizon, as we can see here. It barely reaches the surface of the planet at all. At only -19 magnitudes, it's around the same equivalent of the Sun at the planet Uranus. It could be an ice ball world. What we do know is that it's around 7 Earth masses. It could be a mini Neptune. But we have tried to take in direct imaging, given that it's not all that far away, relatively speaking, and it showed that the planet was extremely bright for its size and mass, and this means that it's thought to have a ring system of around 5 Jupiter radiuses, so it could be incredibly beautiful, Proxima c. And also, again, if we're going to be terraforming Proxima b, which is probably the more likely of the two, it could contain precious minerals that we could use. Now, imagine of course looking back towards Orion from Proxima Centauri. The Sun in the sky at magnitude 0.4 would be very bright, but not the brightest star in the skies. Here we are looking towards Orion and we can see Sirius almost in the same position as a huge red giant star of Betelgeuse. Procyon, of course, another huge star in our local area in Gemini, and the Sun here in the far right hand corner between Perseus and Cassiopeia. So the sky would be different, but only the local stars really. In the distance, of course, it would barely even register. One day in the future, humanity's greatest accomplishments, our furthest outpost on Proxima b, creates Proxima City. Here we see our travellers arriving after a long voyage of years from the solar system, 8 years, 10 years, depending on how fast we go relative to light speed. The twin stars of Alpha Centauri A and Alpha Centauri B shining through in the skies like a prize through the thin water and oxygen cloud layers that we can see depicted. Our next step is Proxima b, and after solar system, closest place that we'll be able to call home. Thanks for watching. Don't forget that this is your channel and I really appreciate any feedback. We've recently hit 50 subscribers, so thank you so much for your support. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget that there are plenty of other videos. You might like seeing a battle between the ice giants of Uranus and Neptune, a bit like Proxima c itself. Or perhaps you're more interested in stars like Arcturus or Capella and Vega. We have a solar system colonisation and a brightest star series, so don't forget to check those out. Add a like as well, because it does help me quite a lot. And I'll stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.